You're entering VTV's Chamber Zone, your business community at work. Representing the Vernal area and Duchesne County Chambers of Commerce, here's Adam Massey and Irene Hansen.
Hello, I'm Adam Massey with the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, and joining me is Irene Hansen with the Duchesne County Chamber of Commerce. You're watching Chamber Zone, your business community at work. Irene, it's great to be back here with you again.
Good to see you, Adam.
You also. Always enjoy doing the show and highlighting a lot of the great events that we've got coming up, exciting things going on in our communities. One thing that we've got coming up here that we'd like to make everybody aware of is our Utah Field House Curation Facility that we're going to be doing a ribbon cutting for on April the 12th. And I know we're both very excited about that. They've been moving the artifacts from the old museum over to the curation facility.
That's correct.
It's going to be a great opportunity at the open house for people to be able to go down and take a look at those. Many of them, I'm sure, have never been able to be seen before, at least by probably not a lot of people that will get an opportunity to go see them now.
You know, that facility, of course, we all remember the old field house. Yeah. And they had a place there where they stored artifacts that weren't being used. But, of course, that facility has now outused its useful life. Mm-hmm. And we realized, you know, what do we do? And many of those artifacts are really considered property of the federal government. Right. Initially, they planned on building a repository with the field house, but the funding was not there. So, basically, we were in real jeopardy of losing those artifacts out of Uintah County, out of Vernal. Yeah. And then who knows where they would go, probably be spread far and wide. Yeah. And you know, thanks to great leadership from Uintah County Special Service District, the Mitigation District, and the Uintah County Commissioners, they just kind of said there's got to be a way to keep those here. Working with Utah State Parks and many other partners like Vernal City and the Field House. Mm-hmm. I think there's a group that kind of advocates for them, Friends of the Field House.
Yes, exactly.
They all got involved and ended up coming up with a great plan, and you probably can't even notice it's been built because it was done perfectly to match the Field House.
It looks great, doesn't it?
But there's a new curation facility, and it is complete now. Most of the artifacts have been moved. And people are going to be able to find something that they may not find anywhere else in the United States. When they come to that field house, there'll be beautiful glass windows. They can literally watch researchers looking at those artifacts and cataloging them. Yeah. You know, you see in movies where they're taking their little files and brushes and doing those things. We'll be able to actually watch that. But honestly, on April 12th, something better is even going to happen. And that is maybe only once in a lifetime. But that facility is going to be opened up for people to literally walk up and down those aisles, look at the art. I don't know if you remember the old field house, the beautiful art that was done from 50 years ago about this area. Absolutely. That's going to be there on display. So a once-in-a-lifetime thing all day on the 12th. The ribbon cutting, though, is at 10. And so, but, you know, this is so important for Vernal City, for the businesses here. I'll bet there's a lot of excitement going on in the community.
You know, there has been, and as we've talked about it going forward, you know, it's going to bring a lot of people in. It'll really help the economy, obviously.
Absolutely.
You know, so we're excited about that. Also, like you said, I know Dale Gray, who is chairman of our Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, our Conservation Issues Committee, has also worked at that curation facility. I'll say it wrong, but he was a paleontologist, anthropologist. He worked in that field, so he's been instrumental in helping to build that building, and they used him as a technical advisor to make sure the lighting's right, to make sure that they've got benches set where they need to be. There's been so much great detail that's went into that facility to make sure it's designed exactly and it's useful. And so, you know, I'm excited to see it. I know that it's a great opportunity for the people of the basin, obviously Vernal, but the whole Uintah Basin to come and get to see those artifacts. And I know we'll bring people in from outside the area, obviously, too. So it's a great highlight. What a neat event for us to have. And the great thing about it is it'll continue to be here.
It will.
So we'll have it. People will be able to go in and see. But that open house is really going to be when you'll want to be there.
And I'll tell you, if you haven't been to the field house in the last 2 or 3 years, you've got to come back.
Absolutely.
Summer of 2013, got to be there. You can't miss this because, again, it's something very special. And takes millions of years to create the artifacts, but some of them have actually been unearthed even for hundreds of years, and now they're going to have that useful life returned when they can be studied. It's a great opportunity for the Uinta Basin, for Vernal, and for the state of Utah. A lot of Utah dignitaries will be there.
Yeah, it'll be a great event. We're looking forward to that. Encourage everybody to get out and make sure you get down there and check it out. We'll think you'll have a lot of fun, and I'm sure your kids will really enjoy it also.
Yeah.
Super. We appreciate that. We'll be right back to talk more about your local chamber events right after this.
Almost 45% of the oil produced in Utah, 7.8 million barrels, comes from Duchesne County. That oil feeds our state economy, provides job growth, and supports local business. Here in Duchesne County, we're working to make Utah an economic, cultural, and technological leader. Whether you're here for business or pleasure, Duchesne County will welcome you with open arms and invite you to explore all the beauty of the Uinta Mountains. Duchesne County, close enough for business, far enough to get away.
Welcome back to Chamber Zone, your business community at work. Irene, you know, one of the fun things we get to do with the show here is talk about all the fantastic businesses we have in both of our communities. And, you know, wow, there's been some super awards given here lately. I know recently at the Governor's Energy Conference, some of our businesses received some awards. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was quite the event. And little did I know when we got there that, first of all, the Uinta Basin, of course, when you're talking energy, who else would you talk about?
Yeah, exactly.
But they were talking about the Uinta Basin in every breakout session. But then during the morning opening session, they started talking about awards. The next thing I know, they're calling the names out of our businesses.
Oh, fantastic.
The first one was the Ute Tribe. Now, as many of you know, they have sold off one division. Ute Energy was just recently sold off. But they have since, and I'm going to read it to make sure I got it right, of course, they were recognized for the successful sale, but also the acquisition of Ute Energy Midstream. Now, this is going to be a wholly owned corporation by the Ute Tribe. They were recognized for their efforts as being one of the leaders in energy. And I had a chance to visit with Ron Wapsock after that to just a little bit about their plans. They're very proud of this company, very excited.
Absolutely.
But, you know, you and I were able to hear a presentation this morning that got me even more excited about some of the things that the Ute Tribe is working on. And it was all about food and fun. So I'm going to let you jump in and tell them a little bit about what we heard.
I'll tell you what, Irene, I'm all about food and fun. So, yeah, it was a great presentation, Ute Tribal Enterprises, and they've made some great strides over there. And we're really excited for them with what they've got going on. You know, they opened their Ute Lanes Family Fun Center, and one of the great things about that, you know, when we went over and done ribbon cuttings for them, which I remember we did, they talked about their bowling alley and how with all the fun things and the neat things that bowling alley can do, the cosmic bowling and everything that they do, the next closest facility that even competes with it is in Las Vegas, which you would expect that in Las Vegas, but here we've got one right in our own back door. So, you know, kudos to them. That's fantastic. They've also opened their Ute Crossing Grill restaurant and catering that they're doing over there, which is fantastic for them also. They're featuring prime rib on Friday and Saturday night, so we'd encourage people to stop by and check that out. And the Ute Plaza, which they've just renovated also, and have some neat things going on over there, so which is fantastic for them. And we're way excited for them and wish them the best of luck. And you know, we're all neighbors together. We're all working towards the same goal. And as we've talked in other programs, rural Utah, you know, has to stick together, because if we don't, we don't want to divide ourselves. And so we're excited to be working with them and trying to help them with what they're trying to accomplish also.
You know, I think the other thing that I was so impressed with, too, as we went to those grand openings, at the grocery store, they've opened a homemade, handcrafted area by Ute artisans.
Right.
So there'll be a little bit of everything there that's really going to be nice for our community to have, and for us to send people who come from outside the area that want to take a little bit of that culture and history home with them. So again, don't make sure you stop there. Stop in that new grocery store and check it out. But you know what? That wasn't the end of the good news at the Energy Conference. A couple of other companies were highlighted, and of course there are two that are very close to our hearts, Newfield and Anadarko.
Absolutely.
And both of them also received recognition for the good work that they've done. And you know, Anadarko and Newfield, again, they're those players. People hear a lot about them, but the trickle-down effects of the good work that they do, the standard they set, the technology they use, I think really to a degree is transforming the industry and how people look at energy production. So to have 3 of our companies recognized out there, you know, it was, we actually had a Uinta Basin table completely full of just, and it was all we could do to get up from dancing on the tables, because we were so proud.
And you're exactly right, Irene. It's fantastic. All well deserved. They're great stewards of the land. You know, not only successful companies that hire people, but you know, environmental part of it is important to them too. Both of them are at the forerunners, just like you said, of the industry on what they do and how they do it. And congratulations to them. It's absolutely fantastic. They always step up in our communities to donate to everything there is that comes down. You know, Anadarko just recently sponsored the luncheon at the water conference, and we appreciate them. And I know Newfield does the same. They're at the forefront in both communities. They're always stepping up to do things, and you know, it's people like that to make our job fun and enjoyable, and we just appreciate having them in our communities and being able to work with them.
And just to give another plug for another company, Devon Energy is going to work with our chamber, the Duchesne County Chamber, to sponsor kind of a volunteer of the month. So we're going to nominate someone. They're going to work with them, highlight them in the newspaper, give them recognition at a luncheon. More news of that to come in the future.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to that, and that's fantastic. We appreciate them for stepping up and recognizing people in our community. Again, it's been great to be with you. Thank you for joining us on Chamber Zone. Please join us next time right here on VTV Channel 6. Thank you.